a little girl, crying and barefoot, stumbled out of the forest and ran onto a dark highway, straight toward 12 female wrestlers who were returning from a late-night celebration. Her tiny hands trembled as she grabbed the jacket of their captain. "Please, please come with me to my house," she begged, her voice shaking, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Mama won't wake up." Then Alexa knelt down, her voice softening. "Lead the way, sweetheart." The wrestlers exchanged tense, worried glances. Then, without a single question, they followed her down a narrow dirt path. None of them had the slightest idea that their lives were about to change forever. The sun was disappearing behind the mountains when suddenly, a chilling scream tore through the silence. At first, they thought it might be a deer, but then the realization struck them. Deer don't scream, and suddenly, before I continue, make sure you're subscribed and tell me where you're watching this story from. The mountain highway was almost completely empty, the kind of road where the world felt paused between two breaths. A large SUV rolled steadily along the asphalt, its headlights slicing through pockets of drifting mist. Inside the vehicle were 12 female wrestlers, loud, exhausted, bruised, and victorious. They had just finished a championship event and were heading back to their lodge tucked deep in the hills. Music played from the speakers. Someone was laughing too loud. Someone else was complaining that her shoulder still hurt from a suplex earlier in the night. In the front seat sat their captain, Alexa the Iron Wolf. Hayes, tall, tattooed, with long, silver-streaked hair tied in a loose braid. She was their anchor, calm when they needed steady hands, fierce when they needed protection. "Whoever opened that bag of chips," Alexa said without looking back, "you owe the rest of us an apology. It smells like someone deep-fried sadness." The SUV erupted in laughter. But the laughter didn't last. Because the driver, Ivy, suddenly inhaled sharply and slammed the brakes. The tires screeched against the road. The wrestlers jerked forward, instinctively grabbing seats, doors, each other. "What the hell?" Maya snapped. Ivy didn't answer. She was staring at the road ahead, eyes wide. Alexa followed her gaze, and her breath stopped. Right in the middle of the highway stood a little girl, barefoot, trembling and crying. Her dress was torn, her hair tangled, her small chest rising and falling in panicked gasps. Before anyone could speak, the girl stumbled forward, almost collapsing, and reached Alexa first. Her tiny fingers clutched Alexa's jacket, gripping it with desperate strength. "Please," she sobbed, voice cracking. "Please come with me. Mama won't wake up. I tried. She won't move." Her words dissolved into choked breaths. The 12 wrestlers froze. These were women who had slammed their bodies into steel cages, taken hits from chairs, fought in rings filled with roaring crowds. But the sight of this trembling child made all of them fall silent. Alexa slowly crouched down, lowering herself to the girl's height. Her voice softened instantly. "Sweetheart, what's your name?" "Lily," she whispered. Alexa gently took her cold hands. "Lily, you're safe now. We're here. Just tell me, where's your mother?" Lily pointed shakily toward a narrow dirt pathway leading into the forest. Her arm quivered the whole time. "It's down there, my house. My baby brother is scared. I don't know what to do." Juno stepped closer, her voice breaking. "Oh my God, she's freezing." Nova took off her hoodie and wrapped it around the girl. Lily sniffled, clutching it tight like it was the first warmth she'd felt in days. Alexa rose to her full height, turning to her team. Her expression had shifted completely. The playful captain was gone. This was the warrior they followed into every fight. "Flashlights," she ordered. "Nobody splits up. We stay together. We move now." No one questioned it. No one hesitated. 12 women surrounded the little girl like a shield, and followed her toward the woods. The dirt path was uneven and cracked. Tree branches arched overhead, blocking out the moonlight. The forest air felt thick, cold, almost breathless. As they walked, Alexa stayed close to Lily, her hand hovering protectively near the girl's back. "How long has your mom been sick?" Alexa asked softly. Lily wiped her tears with the sleeve of the hoodie. 3 days, maybe 4. She didn't get up since yesterday. She won't talk to me." The wrestlers exchanged quiet, heavy glances. Minutes later, Lily pointed forward. Through the trees, a small broken house appeared, windows cracked, door hanging crooked, porch half collapsed. Alexa whispered under her breath, "Dear God." The wrestlers stepped towards the house, but suddenly, from behind them, deep inside the forest, a sharp, unnatural scream tore through the night. Not human, not animal, something else. Everyone froze. Juno whispered, That wasn't a deer?" Alexa immediately stepped in front of Lily, muscles tensing, eyes scanning the darkness. "Stay close," she said. "Whatever that was, it wasn't friendly." And just like that, the night shifted. The forest felt alive, watching, waiting. The 12 wrestlers tightened their formation around Lily as they moved towards the broken house. Because this was no longer just a rescue. Something else was out there, and it wasn't hiding anymore. The front steps creaked under their feet as the wrestlers followed Lily toward the broken door. The house looked like it had been abandoned for years, even though Lily clearly lived here. Alexa gently pushed the half-hanging door, and it swung inward with a long, aching groan. The smell hit them first, old wood, damp air, and something else, a heaviness that clung to the walls like sadness woven into the wallpaper. "Flashlights up," Alexa whispered. 12 beams of light cut through the darkness. The living room appeared slowly, and what they saw made every wrestler freeze. There, on an old, torn sofa, lay a woman. Her skin was pale, her lips dry, her breathing shallow and fragile, like the faintest whisper of air. "Mama!" Lily rushed forward, almost tripping. Alexa caught her shoulder gently. "Careful, sweetheart. Let us check her first." Maya and Nova, who had basic first aid training from years of injuries, knelt beside the woman. "Maya," Nova whispered, "her pulse is there, but it's barely anything. She's severely dehydrated, maybe fever, exhaustion," Maya muttered. "And she hasn't eaten in days." The youngest wrestler, Willow, covered her mouth with her hands. "Oh my God!" In the corner of the room, something stirred. Juno immediately swung her flashlight in that direction, and they found a small boy wrapped in a blanket, wide-eyed, terrified. He couldn't have been more than 3. He didn't cry. He was too scared to. Nova lowered herself slowly. "Hey, buddy. It's okay. We're here to help." The boy whimpered and hid his face. "He's freezing," Nova whispered. Alexa looked around the room. Empty food cans, unpaid bills scattered on a table, a cracked phone on the floor, clothes piled in a corner, a broken window patched with cardboard. This wasn't a home. This was survival. And these children were losing. "Ladies," Alexa said quietly. "They've been struggling for a long time." Ivy checked the kitchen. The fridge was empty except for a half-eaten pack of crackers and a bottle of stale water. "Nothing," Ivy said softly. "Not even milk." Sage, the team strategist, walked around the doorway and inspected the tiny hallway. "Captain, this looks like days, maybe weeks, of neglect. It's like the mom tried but collapsed." Lily tugged on Alexa's shirt with trembling fingers. Is she going to die?" Alexa knelt again, putting both hands on the girl's shoulders. "No, Lily, she's not going to die, not tonight. We won't let anything happen to her, or you." Lily burst into sobs, burying her face into Alexa's chest. The wrestlers exchanged glances, a mix of heartbreak and fury burning in their eyes. Nobody said it, but they all felt it. Whoever should have been taking care of this family had abandoned them, and that betrayal stung them all. As Nova comforted Lily's little brother, Ember checked the back door. "Captain," she whispered, "someone's been here recently." Alexa turned sharply. "What do you mean?" Ember pointed at muddy footprints going across the floor. Fresh, not dried. Some were small, but others were big. "Lily," Alexa called gently, "has anyone else been coming to the house?" The girl shook her head quickly. "No, just Mama, and me, and my brother." "But your dad?" Willow asked softly. Lily's expression changed, her face tensed, her eyes lowered. He left us. Mama said he wasn't coming back." Before anyone could respond, the sound came from outside, sharp, loud. 12 wrestlers snapped into defensive stances instantly. The little boy began crying. Lily clung to Alexa's arm. Sage whispered, "That came from the trees." Another sound followed, branches snapping, heavy footsteps. "Someone's out there!" Ember hissed. Before the wrestlers could even form a plan, tap, tap. A soft knocking came from the back window. Juno pointed her flashlight, but there was nothing. Just darkness. Silence. Then suddenly, the same unnatural scream from before echoed through the trees, closer now, sharp enough to make the windows rattle. Nova muttered, That's not an animal. That's something else." Alexa moved Lily and the boy behind her, muscles tensed. "Everyone stay sharp," she ordered. "We protect the kids first." Maya stood by the unconscious mother. "We need to move her to the car. She doesn't have much time." But before they could decide anything, footsteps began circling the house. Slow, deliberate, heavy. Whoever was out there wasn't afraid of them and wasn't leaving. Alexa's jaw tightened. "This just got worse," she whispered, because now it was clear. They weren't alone. And whoever was out there wasn't here to help. The footsteps circling the house grew slower, heavier, as if whoever was out there was studying the place. The wrestlers formed a defensive ring around the children and the unconscious mother. Every woman's face had shifted from concern to pure focus. This was no longer a simple rescue. This was a threat. Alexa raised her hand. "Everyone stay quiet. Listen." For a few seconds, the whole world seemed to hold its breath. Then, crunch. A heavy footstep right outside the kitchen window. Willow swallowed. "Captain, do we call the police?" Ivy lifted her phone. "No signal. Not even a single bar." "Of course," Sage muttered, glancing at the dense forest outside. "A dead zone." Alexa inhaled deeply. Her voice was low but steady. "All right, we split up, but only in pairs." Juno frowned. "Why split?" "Because we need help," Alexa answered. "And help isn't coming to us. We have to go get it." Lily tugged gently on Alexa's sleeve. Her voice trembled. "Please don't leave us." Alexa knelt so their faces were level. "Sweetheart, listen to me. We're not leaving you. We're making sure your mom survives tonight. A few of us will go get help. The rest will stay right here with you and your brother." Lily nodded weakly. "Okay, just come back." Alexa brushed her thumb across the girl's cheek. "We will, I promise." Alexa stood and turned to her team. "Group A, Ivy, Sage, Ember, you're going to drive out until you find a signal. The main road is straight ahead, not far." Ivy nodded, clutching her keys. "Group B, Maya, Nova, Willow, Ray. You four stay here with me. We keep the kids safe. We stabilize the mother." And the last group? Juno asked. Group C. Juno, Belle, Quinn. You searched the property. I want to know who was here, where they went, and how long ago. Juno cracked her knuckles. Finally, something physical. Juno, Alexa said sharply. This isn't a wrestling ring. Stay smart. The footsteps outside stopped. Completely. The silence made everyone tense. Move, Alexa ordered quietly, and don't lose line of sight of each other. Ivy, Sage, and Ember slipped out the front door, flashlights pointed low to avoid drawing attention. The air was cold. The forest felt too still. When they reached the dirt path, Ivy whispered, We'll follow the road. Straight shot. Maybe a mile. Sage nodded. Keep listening. Something's out there. I can feel it. Ember, the quietest one, swept her light through the trees, and then she froze. A rusted pickup truck sat half-hidden behind bushes, as if deliberately parked out of sight. The doors were open, keys still in the ignition. Sage whispered, Whose truck is that? Ivy examined it with her flashlight. Inside, cigarette butts, beer cans, a men's jacket, a receipt for fuel, dated 2 days ago. Ember exhaled slowly. This might be the father's truck. Sage stiffened. If it is, then he left on foot. And didn't come back, Ivy murmured. They shared a worried look before continuing into the darkness. Back in the house, Maya soaked a cloth in the little water they found and gently laid it on the mother's forehead. Her body twitched. Maya, Nova whispered. She's burning up, Maya replied. She needs a doctor, fast. The little boy whimpered softly and clung to Nova's hand. It's okay, Nova whispered. You're safe. Promise. Willow checked the windows anxiously. Captain, footsteps stopped. That's worse. Alexa agreed silently. Juno, Belle, and Quinn circled the house perimeter, flashlights sweeping the ground. Belle crouched beside a patch of mud. Prints, she whispered. 2 sets. 1 large, 1 smaller, and fresh. Quinn studied the spacing. Whoever it was, they weren't running. They were walking. Slow. Juno scanned the tree line. Suddenly, her light froze on something. A piece of fabric caught on a branch. She pulled it free. A torn scrap of dark cloth, stiff with dried dirt. Someone was watching the house, she whispered. Standing right here. Belle felt a chill run through her ribs. This wasn't random. Quinn's face tightened. They're coming back, or they never left. Before they could discuss further, a voice echoed faintly from the main road. A man's voice, low, raspy. Belle stiffened. You hear that? Juno raised her flashlight. Far off, near the gas station's direction, a worker was waving at them hysterically. Hey, you! He called through cupped hands. You're not from around here, right? That man in the photo? I've seen him. He left town 2 days ago, and he wasn't alone. Group C froze. Quinn whispered, Oh, God. This just became a lot bigger than we thought, Juno muttered. And a lot darker, Belle added. The wrestlers regrouped inside the dim, broken house, their boots leaving tracks on the dusty wooden floor. The information the gas station worker shouted moments earlier replayed in their minds like a warning they couldn't ignore. Alexa paced slowly, her jaw tense, hands on her hips, eyes fixed on the unconscious mother. 2 days ago, and he wasn't alone, she murmured. That means he didn't just leave. He ran. Ray, who rarely spoke, finally broke her silence. Captain, if he left with people he owed money to, then those people may come back here. The room seemed to tighten with her words. Lily, who had been sitting quietly beside her brother, looked up at them with tear-rimmed eyes. My dad, he didn't say goodbye. Mama didn't tell us anything. Alexa crouched beside her again, her voice soft. Sweetheart, whatever your father did has nothing to do with you. None of this is your fault. Lily nodded slowly, but her small hands trembled. Nova gently picked up the little boy, who clung to her neck like a frightened kitten. Captain, he's burning up too. They've been alone far too long. We're getting them out of here, Alexa said immediately. We just need to know what we're up against. Maya stepped in from the hallway holding a small folded paper. Found this under a stack of old mail. Alexa opened it. A note, handwritten, messy. I can't stay, they're coming. I'll fix this. I'll come back when it's safe. No signature, just a shaky line. Sage exhaled through her teeth. He knew he put them in danger. He walked out anyway. And never came back, Ember added quietly. Alexa folded the paper tightly and slipped it into her pocket. He didn't leave to protect them. He left to save himself. A sudden thump shook the wall, and every wrestler froze. The sound came from just outside the house, not far, not cautious. Heavy footsteps moved through the dried leaves. Ray whispered, "Someone's circling us again." Quinn edged toward the front window and peeked out just enough to see the tree line. I can't see anything, but something's out there. Alexa pointed toward the side door. We move, quietly. If someone is watching, I want to know who. The wrestlers stepped outside in a tight formation. The cold evening air bit at their skin. The forest around the house felt wrong, as if someone was standing among the trees, watching, holding their breath. They followed the narrow dirt road toward the nearest cluster of buildings, a small town with barely a dozen lights flickering behind shop windows. The diner was still open. Inside, a woman in her late 50s recognized Lily's father's photo instantly. Yes, he came here, looked tired, nervous. He was arguing with someone in the parking lot. A big man. Scared me half to death. They left together, heading east. Did he say anything about his family? Ivy asked. Not a word, the woman replied. Didn't look back, didn't look like he planned to. The wrestlers exchanged looks, anger, confusion, disbelief. Next, they tried a small hardware store. The owner, an elderly man with kind eyes, nodded when he saw the picture. That man. I saw him just a week ago. Kept buying small things, tools, tape, rope. Always anxious. Quinn frowned. Anxious how? Like someone who knows trouble is following him, the old man said. The kind of trouble a man can't outrun. Sage swallowed. He was preparing to disappear. And he did, the old man added. Left with the same men who'd been looking for him. Alexa stepped closer. Do you know what they wanted? The man sighed. Money. The father owed a lot, wrong people, dangerous ones. If they didn't get their money, they'd take something else. The room fell silent. Back at the house, the mother stirred in her fevered state, her voice barely a whisper as she regained a few seconds of consciousness. Tears slid down her cheeks as she tried to speak. He said they were coming for him, not for us. Told me to hide. Told me not to open the door. Her breath caught painfully. He said he'd come back. He lied. She slipped back into unconsciousness. Nova wiped her eyes, angry and heartbroken. How could he leave them like this? Before Alexa could respond, a scream erupted from inside the house, sharper, closer, more terrifying than the one in the forest before. Everyone spun. It wasn't Lily. It wasn't the little boy. It wasn't the mother. It came from inside another room, a raw, jagged scream that didn't belong in this house, a voice full of rage, fear, and something else entirely. Alexa's eyes narrowed. Everyone inside. Now. Because whatever this family had been hiding from had finally stepped into the house. The wrestlers rushed back into the house, their footsteps pounding across the rotting floorboards. The scream had come from the far end of the hallway. Sharp, broken, and too close for comfort. Alexa held an arm out, stopping everyone just before the hall's entrance. "Check the kids," she whispered. Nova moved quickly. Lily and her brother were huddled behind the sofa, both trembling, eyes wide with terror. Lily clung to Nova's arm. "That wasn't Mama," she whispered. "No," Nova told her gently. "It wasn't." Alexa motioned forward, and the wrestlers crept down the hallway, breaths shallow, every muscle tightened. The house felt colder now, as if something had slipped inside with them. A soft tapping came from the guest bedroom door. Slow, deliberate. Belle raised her flashlight and nudged the handle. The door creaked open. The room was empty. No furniture except a cracked dresser. Dust thick on the floor, a single curtain fluttering in a draft. "What the hell?" Quinn whispered. Then another noise. A crack, like a twig snapping, came from the broken window at the back of the room. Maya shone her light toward it. Outside, darkness swallowed everything. And then, a shadow swept past the window. Fast. Too fast. Juno leapt forward, her instincts kicking in. "There," she hissed. "Someone's playing games with us." Alexa backed up slowly, ushering everyone out of the hallway. "We're not splitting inside this house again. Stay in the main room." As they re-entered the living room, something was wrong immediately. A cold breeze drifted across the floor. Glass crunched under Ivy's boot. The large window beside the sofa was shattered. Tiny shards scattered across the floor like ice. Nova gasped and shielded the children. "Lily, keep your head down." Alexa scanned the window, her jaw tightening. "Someone threw something through here." Belle bent down and picked up a muddy boot print on the floor right under the window. "Captain, this isn't ours. Someone climbed halfway in." "But where did they go?" Willow whispered. Nobody had an answer. A rustling sound came from the yard. Heavy footsteps, crunching leaves, moving faster now, circling again, closing in. The kind of footsteps that weren't hiding anymore. Sage gritted her teeth. "This isn't random. Whoever was following the father, they found the house." Another thump hit the back wall, hard enough to rattle the picture frames. The little boy began crying, sobbing into Nova's shoulder. Lily grabbed Alexa's hand, voice trembling. "Please don't let them take us." Alexa kneeled and held her shoulders firmly. "No one is taking you. Not while we're here, ever." The footsteps stopped again. Silence. The wrestlers stiffened. Then, from outside the broken window, a low metallic sound echoed through the darkness. Click. A sound every woman in that room recognized instantly. A gun being cocked. Juno's voice came out as a breath. "That's close. Way too close." Alexa reacted first. "Everyone down!" The wrestlers dropped immediately, covering the kids and shielding the unconscious mother with their own bodies. Dust rose around them as they flattened to the floor. Another soft, shifting noise drifted inside from the broken window, a shadowy outline moving just beyond the frame. Belle whispered, "He's right there. He's right outside." Silence stretched painfully. Then a voice, not loud, not clear, but low and rough, slipped through the window's jagged opening. "I know you're in there." Alexa's muscles locked. "I need what the man owes me," the voice continued. "He said I'd find it in the house, and I always collect." Maya felt her chest tighten. "He's talking about the kids." Alexa's eyes burned with fury. She mouthed silently to her team. "We don't let him take a single step inside." Nova clutched Lily's hand. Stay behind me. Don't move. The voice outside growled through the window again. Bring the boy out, and I'll walk away. No trouble. The wrestlers' expressions hardened instantly. Quinn whispered, Over our dead bodies. Alexa slowly rose to one knee, silent, controlled, every muscle coiled like a spring. She stepped forward, keeping low, inching toward the shattered window. The figure outside shifted. He was larger than they expected. Broad shoulders, heavy boots, a gun reflecting faint glimmers of moonlight. His face was hidden under a hood, but the coldness in his stance was unmistakable. He lifted his gun slightly, and then he stepped back. Not running, not hiding, just waiting, watching, as if daring them to make the first move. Alexa locked eyes with him through the glass shards. She whispered to her team without turning her head, Get ready. Because the night wasn't just dangerous anymore. It was turning into a standoff, one they had no intention of losing. The gunman lingered just beyond the broken window, his shadow stretching across the floorboards like something alive. Alexa didn't blink, didn't breathe too loudly. She studied him the same way she studied opponents in the ring, reading the stance, the weight shift, the twitch of a hand. Behind her, Lily whimpered softly. That was all it took. Alexa's expression hardened, jaw tightening like steel. Belle whispered behind the sofa, Captain, we're not letting him take one step in. Damn right, Quinn murmured. The gunman shifted again, kicking broken glass aside with his boot. You have 3 minutes, he said, voice gravelly and steady. Give me the boy. His father owes me more than money. That man promised me something valuable, and I mean to take it. Maya couldn't hold back a sharp whisper. He sold his kid? What kind of monster? Alexa raised her hand. Silence. The gunman's boots scraped on the gravel outside. A slow, steady sound. He wasn't in a rush. He wasn't panicked. He had done this before, and that was what made it worse. Alexa stood just enough to see over the windowsill. Listen to me, she said calmly, her voice low and commanding. You're leaving, right now. You're not taking anything from this house, not the boy, not the girl, not a damn thing. The man laughed, a hollow, humorless sound. You think I'm scared of a house full of women? You should be, Quinn muttered. Another crunch of gravel, another step closer. Alexa exhaled through her nose. I'm giving you one warning. I already gave mine, he replied, tapping the gunmetal with his thumb. Then everything happened at once. He swung the barrel toward the window, and Alexa threw her entire weight into the wall, ducking low. A deafening crack burst through the night. The gun fired, splintering the wooden frame. Lily screamed. The little boy hid his face in Nova's neck. Alexa didn't wait. She shot up, grabbed the shattered window frame, and vaulted halfway out in one explosive movement, slamming her forearm into the gunman's wrist. The gun clattered to the ground. Juno and Quinn stormed forward right behind her. The man stumbled backward, shock overtaking his face for the first time. What the? Before he could finish, Belle sprinted through the doorway, tackling him from the side like a freight train. They hit the ground hard. He swung wildly, landing a punch on Belle's shoulder. She winced and then grinned. You hit like a squirrel. Quinn and Juno pinned his arms. Alexa pressed her boot onto his chest, leaning in, her voice a low growl. You are going to tell me exactly who you are, and exactly what the father promised you. The man spat on the ground. He promised me debt payment. He promised me his son. Said the kid wasn't good for anything else. The wrestlers froze. Even Alexa's breath faltered. Lily, still watching from the cracked doorframe, covered her mouth with both hands, tears welling again. My daddy said that The gunman's eyes flicked toward her, almost amused. Before he could speak another word, Juno tightened her grip around his arm until he groaned. "Don't you even look at her." Alexa leaned closer to him. "You came here for the wrong family." He sneered up at her. "Doesn't matter. I always get what I came for." "No," Alexa said softly, almost pitying him. "Not tonight." Far off in the distance, a faint sound echoed. Sirens, getting louder, closer. The man heard it too. His eyes widened. No, you don't understand. They'll come for me." "Good," Belle said, wiping blood from her lip. "We'll introduce them to round 2. The police vehicle skidded to a stop near the edge of the yard, lights flashing red and blue through the trees. Officers rushed out as the wrestlers stepped back, but not far, still watching the man with eyes full of fire. "He tried to take the children," Alexa said firmly to the officers. "He threatened them, broke into the house, shot into the window." "He confessed," Juno added, "and we restrained him before he hurt anyone." An officer nodded grimly. "We've been looking for this man for days. Dangerous criminal. You ladies possibly saved more than one life tonight." The man screamed as they hauled him up, shouting threats that fell flat now, threats that meant nothing. Nova knelt beside Lily and her brother. "It's okay," she whispered. "He's gone. He's never coming back." Lily buried her face into Nova's shoulder and sobbed. Alexa stood nearby, watching the police car disappear down the dirt road. Then one officer jogged back, expression serious. "We found an abandoned truck near a cliff road earlier tonight. Engine still warm, no sign of the driver." He paused. "Matches the description of the children's father." The wrestlers looked at one another, all understanding the same unspoken truth. This night wasn't finished with them yet. The mystery wasn't over, and the family they'd found wasn't safe, not yet. The house felt strangely quiet after the police car disappeared, its red and blue lights fading into the night. The wrestlers stood in a loose circle, breathing hard, adrenaline still pumping through their blood. Lily clung to Alexa's leg, her little brother asleep in Nova's arms, both children trembling from exhaustion. "Captain?" Maya said softly. "She won't survive another hour in this house. We have to get the mother to a hospital now." Alexa didn't hesitate. "Everyone, pack what you can carry. We're moving them." Willow grabbed blankets. Juno and Belle lifted the unconscious mother as carefully as they could, whispering encouragement as if she might still hear them. Lily followed close behind, holding Alexa's hand, refusing to let go. The wrestlers helped the children into the SUV first. Lily sat between Nova and Ray, her fingers woven tightly into Nova's sleeve. Her brother was bundled up in a blanket, head resting on Ray's shoulder. The mother went into the back seat, Maya checking her pulse every minute. Ivy drove, her face tense with focus as the SUV sped along the twisting mountain road. The hospital came into view like a lighthouse, soft, warm lights cutting through the darkness. Inside the emergency room, nurses rushed to the mother, immediately rolling her onto a stretcher. "She's severely dehydrated," one nurse said. "She needs fluids, antibiotics, and monitoring," another added. "Will she make it?" Lily whispered, her voice cracking. The nurse placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "We're going to do everything we can, sweetheart." Lily nodded, her lips trembling as she buried her face into Nova's side. The wrestlers waited in the hallway, pacing, gripping their arms, staring at the floor, the walls, the door, anywhere except each other's worried eyes. Maya sank into a chair and covered her face. She was alone for days. Those kids were alone for days. Sage sat beside her, laying a hand on her shoulder. They're not alone now. An hour later, a doctor emerged from the room. The wrestlers stood instantly. "She's stable," he said. "She was in a dangerous state, but you brought her in just in time. Another few hours. It would have been a different outcome." Nova closed her eyes and exhaled a shaky breath. Alexa turned away for a moment, her jaw tightening, absorbing the weight of what could have happened. The doctor knelt beside Lily. "You want to see your mom?" The little girl nodded, tears streaming silently. "She's asleep, but she's safe. You saved her." Lily blinked. "I didn't." "They did," she whispered, pointing at the wrestlers. The doctor gave a warm smile. "Then all of you saved her." When the doctor left, the wrestlers stood in a quiet group near the hallway wall. Alexa rubbed her temples. "We're staying with them," she announced. "All night." "Obviously," Juno muttered. "Try getting me to leave." Nova looked down at Lily, who was curled against her side, eyes glassy with exhaustion. "What about her dad? If the police find him—" "They won't," Sage said quietly. "He's gone. He walked out of their lives long before tonight." A long silence stretched through the hallway. Then a woman approached them with a clipboard tucked under her arm. Short hair, kind eyes. Professional, but gentle. "Hello," she said, voice calm. "I'm a child welfare officer. The police contacted us about the situation." Lily stiffened immediately, clutching Nova's arm as if someone was trying to pull her away. "No, don't take us!" Nova hugged her tight. "No one's taking you, baby. Breathe. It's okay." The officer held up her hands. "I'm not here to separate anyone. I need to make sure the children are safe. That's all." Alexa stepped forward, finishing the sentence for her. "They're safe. With us." The officer nodded slowly. "That's clear. These kids trust you more than anyone else in this building." The little boy woke up and reached for Quinn, who scooped him into her arms without a second thought. The officer softened. "Let me ask something. Are you all planning to stay with them until the mother recovers?" "Yes," Alexa answered instantly. "We're not going anywhere." The officer smiled, almost relieved. "Good. Then the children will stay with you. I'll mark them as temporarily under your care." Lily blinked up at Alexa, gripping her jacket. "You're not leaving? Promise?" Alexa knelt beside her, brushing messy hair from her forehead. "No, sweetheart. We're here. All 12 of us. And we're not leaving you alone again." Lily broke. She threw her arms around Alexa's neck and sobbed against her shoulder. The wrestlers looked away, blinking fast, each pretending not to cry, each failing miserably. Hours passed. Night turned into early morning. The wrestlers stayed in the hallway, some sitting on the floor, some leaning against walls, some dozing off for minutes at a time with kids curled against them. Just before sunrise, the doctor returned. "She's improving," he said. "She's not out of danger yet, but she's responding." Lily smiled for the first time that night. Alexa placed a hand on her small back. "You're going to be okay, Lily." The little girl looked up at her. "You didn't even know us, and you still stayed." Alexa swallowed hard. Sometimes, staying is the only right thing to do. The girl's brother looked at Quinn sleepily. "You won't go, right?" Quinn shook her head. "Nobody. We're sticking around." The sunrise peeked through the hospital window. Soft golden light washed over the exhausted wrestlers, over Lily's tear-streaked cheeks, over the little boy's sleepy blink. And for the first time in days, this broken little family had protection. Real protection. Not because someone was forced to stay, but because someone finally chose to. 2 weeks passed before anyone truly realized how much had changed. The forest felt different now, no longer threatening, no longer suffocating. The broken house at the end of the dirt road looked less like a place of fear and more like a place waiting to breathe again. The wrestlers had spent every single day shuttling between the hospital and the house, fixing small things, cleaning rooms, repairing broken windows, buying food, clothes, toys, and everything 2 scared children could need. The hospital staff knew them by name now. "Here come the 12 giants again," one nurse joked lovingly every time they walked in. But the biggest change came on a quiet afternoon when the mother finally opened her eyes fully, alert and aware. She blinked, confused at first. Then she saw Lily, then her little boy, then the wrestlers surrounding her bed. Her lips quivered. I thought I was dreaming." "You're safe," Nova said gently. "You're safe now." The mother began to cry softly, not out of fear, but out of relief so deep it made her shoulders shake. Lily climbed into the bed carefully, wrapping her arms around her mother's neck. "You woke up?" she whispered. "I thought you wouldn't." Her mother held her tightly. "My brave girl, you kept your brother safe. You saved all of us." The wrestlers stepped back, letting the family hold on to each other without interruption. Even Juno wiped her eyes discreetly. When the mother finally looked up, her gaze lingered on Alexa. Who are you all?" she asked, her voice trembling. Alexa gave a small smile, soft but steady. "We're just some women who were on the road at the right time." "No," the mother whispered. "You're angels." The wrestlers exchanged awkward glances. None of them used to being called anything close to that. A few days later, the mother was discharged. Still weak, still recovering, but alive, thanks to the team who refused to leave her side. They escorted her and the kids back to the house, staying close as she walked up to the porch. She stopped halfway and stared at the door. The last time she'd walked through it, she couldn't stay on her feet. This time, she had 12 women behind her. Inside, the house looked different. Cleaned, repaired, warm. Nova had set up a small shelf of food. Willow had patched the curtains. Ray and Ember had fixed the broken door frame. Sage had replaced the old bulbs with bright new lights. Even Quinn had built a wooden toy chest for the kids. The mother put a hand to her mouth, tears gathering again. "You did all this?" "Why?" Alexa answered quietly. "Because you needed someone to stay, and for a long time, no one did." The mother nodded slowly, overwhelmed. Days passed, then a week, then another. The children healed faster than the mother, but all 3 carried invisible wounds that took time to fade. The wrestlers visited every day, sometimes bringing food, sometimes toys, sometimes nothing but time and warmth. And slowly, the house stopped feeling haunted. One afternoon, Lily ran out of the door the moment she saw the wrestlers arriving. "You came back," she squealed, hugging Alexa's waist with all her strength. Alexa hugged her back, smiling into her hair. "We promised we would." She looked over her shoulder as Nova stepped out of the van carrying more groceries, while Quinn was balancing a newly bought backpack on her hip, grumbling jokingly, "I don't even buy this much stuff for myself." The mother walked outside with a small smile. "You've given my children something I couldn't for a long time, security." Alexa shook her head. "You kept them alive. That's more than most people could have done in your situation." There was a pause, a quiet, deep one. Then the mother looked at the group with a gentleness that could break anyone's heart. "I thought you came to save us," she said softly. "But now I think maybe all of you were the ones who needed saving." The wrestlers exchanged glances, some embarrassed, some emotional, all touched. The mother continued, "My children gave you something too, didn't they?" Alexa didn't deny it. She couldn't. "They reminded us," she said quietly, "that strength isn't just muscles or titles. It's staying when others walk away." The little boy toddled toward Quinn, reaching up. She lifted him easily, kissing the top of his head with a tenderness that surprised even her. Lily hugged Alexa tighter. "You're our family too, right?" Alexa's eyes softened. "Yeah, sweetheart, we are. If you'll have us." Lily nodded fiercely. "We will. Forever." The sun dipped low behind the trees, casting warm gold across the yard. The wrestlers stood with the small family they had rescued, the weight of everything they'd survived settling gently around them. It wasn't fate, it wasn't coincidence. It was simply the moment 12 women chose to stop and stay, and because of that choice, a family stitched itself back together, piece by fragile piece, hope by trembling hope. They had come as strangers. They left as something else entirely. And maybe, just maybe, they saved each other. Sometimes the world forgets this simple truth. Strength isn't measured by how hard you hit, but by who you refuse to abandon. 12 women didn't save that family because they were wrestlers. They saved them because compassion is louder than fear. And staying is sometimes the most heroic thing a human can do. We live in a world where people walk away too easily, but every once in a while, someone stops, someone listens, someone says, "You're not alone." And that is what changes lives. Wherever you are in the world, whoever you are, if you ever have the chance to choose kindness, choose it. If you ever have the chance to stand beside someone, don't step away. Because you never know, you might save them. Or you might save yourself. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and tell me where in the world you're watching this story from. Your support helps these stories reach the people who need them most.